Alright, today I'm going to show you why using a brush for washing dishes is better than using a sponge or a rag. I'm going to go ahead and get started with this. So right here I have this Everspring sponge right here. It comes with a bottle and straw brush set. So right here is, so it has this for the straw, and it also has this right here for using all dishes. And I'm going to show you why this is so much better than using a rag or a sponge to wash your dishes. All right, so here it is right here. It says replace, reuse, FSC certified, dishwasher safe, brush head. So I'm guessing the head comes apart. I think the head comes off and you can throw this in the dishwasher safe. And the handle is not, because it is actually wood. So I'm gonna put it back together. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get started with washing the dishes in here and show you why it is so much better to use a brush than a sponge or a rag. So I have a bunch of dishes in here, and so I'm gonna get started with washing the dishes in this sink right here. So what I'm gonna do first is there's some coffee grounds right here. I'm just gonna put this down the disposal. And there's an odd shape coffee pot right here. And I'm going to show you how to clean this out here. And this is probably one of the most unique, or one of the main reasons why you would want to use a brush as opposed to a rag or sponge. First thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and get the coffee grounds out of here. Rinse the sink down a little bit from the coffee grounds. Once you do that, go ahead and turn this on. All right, so I have the coffee grounds out of there. I'm just going to go ahead and put this to the side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get started with the dishes. And if you've been following my videos, I have unique ways of washing dishes. The first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and empty any of these cups right here. I know things have been soaking, but if there is a lot of leftover coffee or whatnot, it could taint the dishes too much. So I just want to go ahead and get this out and perhaps fill up the containers, if they still need to be soaked, with fresh water that isn't saturated with coffee grounds and coffee juice and all of that. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on, and I'm kind of rinsing the dishes right here. Rinsing slash soak. I'm going to fill it up with hot water. Not too hot, but hot water. Just going to get it on all these dishes. I'm kind of soaking and rinsing them at the same time. See this? And the soaking with the hot water will make it easier for when I get around to actually washing those particular dishes. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. The water's still cool. I'm going to wait for it to get hot. And so in the meantime, I'm going to be preparing. So this is my brush right here, and this is an old brush. And this is going to be a brush that I'm going to be throwing away right here. Do you see this? It's really dirty right here, old. It's going to be tossing that. And here's the brand new brush that came into the set. It's not set tripping. It's clean, and probably do a better job at getting the dishes clean. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm using soap. I have Dawn dish detergent soap right here. This is platinum. It's in a bowl. I'm fixing one of the containers, and so I had to put it into this bowl right here. So that's the reason why this is like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go ahead. I'm going to wash this one twice, and I'll give you the reason why I'm going to do it twice. I'm going to start filling up with a little bit of water, and I'm going to just dip the brush inside of the detergent a little bit, get a little detergent on here. And I'm just going to go in here, and do you see what I'm doing with this brush right here? The warm water and soap suds in here, I'm able to get inside of areas inside of this coffee pot that I normally wouldn't be able to, because my hands are rather large and I wouldn't be able to get into certain places. So I have this scrub, this brush, and I have it inside right here. I'm just going to go around, and this right here is, and I'm doing the reason why I'm doing it twice is because coffee does stain things, and it leaves flavor everywhere. So I'm not going to put the flavor in the air anymore, so I'm just going to show you, Craig Mack, and then get the inside. You see that right there? I'm getting the coffee. You can see the little bit of the coffee stains right in there in the suds, because the suds are super white. And I'm just going to go around all in there. And so what I'm doing right here is I'm going to go ahead and let this right here soak. All right, so this is going to be soaking right there. And I'm going to go ahead and put the utensils in there as well. And so they're going to be soaking in this soapy water right here. We'll give it time to actually get rid of any of those food that is left on the utensils to actually dissolve and make it easier for when I'm ready to go and wash those. So I'm rinsing these, get rid of the coffee. See all the coffee grounds in there? I'm trying to get rid of that because it's going to make washing a lot easier. So I'm draining all of this. Coffee grounds in there, turn the dishwasher on a little bit, or the disposal on a little bit. So what I'm doing right here is I'm going to go ahead and take the soapy, sudsy brush right here. Have it. And I'm going to actually put a little bit of soap inside of this cup. So this is going to be my main cup right here with the water in here. And the reason why I'm doing it in this cup right here is because I want to save water, so I'm not filling up the entire sink with the soap. And I'm just going to take the brush, and what I'll do is I take the brush. You got to go all around in here, and you see how many bristles that it has on here. There's a lot of bristles on there, and I'm taking it and going all around inside of the brush or inside of the cup. It's a deep cup, and like I said, I have large hands, and I can't fit my hand inside of most jars. So I'm just taking the brush and I'm going thoroughly on the inside, making sure that getting any of that flavor that's been left over in there off. And then I'm going to go ahead and take this and just keep on going on the outside. Now this is going to be soaking, and what I tend to do is I tend to sit it, if my sink is crowded, I tend to set stuff like that to the side. It's sitting on the countertop, and it's continuing to soak and dissolve anything, flavor, stains that are on side of the cup. Now, I'm doing that knowing that I'm not going to allow it to sit for too long, because if you let it sit for too long, soap can actually leave a stain on the cup, a temporary stain. So I'm just going to take the brush and go all inside of it, like this. Put it aside. I have a lot of cups. I've been doing a lot of drinking today. Get that in there. All right, so I have this. And so I'm going to get the outside, and it's important to get around the mouth part of the cup. Very important. And so I'm just going to keep on going through here. Dip it inside of this soapy water right here. And getting various items in here. Now it's important to note, when you're first using the brush, you may notice that a lot of the water soap starts flicking a lot of areas because you're using the bristles on the brush. But over time you'll develop a technique so it won't splash everywhere. All right. I am getting the inside of this container, Tupperware-like container, getting all on the inside. You can see on the outside it has this rubber shelling. I take this off. The rubber shelling is on there for grip, to keep it from slipping, but that needs to be washed as well. So you have this. I'm going to set this to the side and leave that part in the sink. Dip it back into this water. Let it go right here. And there's only 2 more items in here that I need to wash. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get to them. This is a big one right here. This is the coffee filter. And I try to save this for one of the last because the coffee filter actually has a lot of flavor of the coffee still left on it. And I don't want that to be on my dishes. So I get in there, get around the top part of that, and then make sure you get the outside of the coffee filter. Scrub that well. There's a couple more utensils. Look at this. This is a spatula. Get some more soapy water in there. Scrub this. Make sure you get the handles. The handle's very important, often overlooked because people think that it wasn't in the food, so only have to brush the food, but get the handle. Get a handle on it. And here is the brush, or the straw. I get the outside of it. Dip it. And this is where it comes into play to using the straw brush right here. So I'm going to dip this straw brush in here. I'm going to take the straw brush, and I'm just going to go right in here like that. Just in and out, in and out, in and out. You can possibly see, because it goes so deep that it comes out the other end. Like that. The problem I have right here. But it's not a problem, actually. You can keep it in there, and it pulls the water out, and more water comes out the other end like that. You see that? Just let that sit right there. And I have a pan right here. And before I get to the pan, I'm going to go ahead and do the utensils that have been sitting in here and soaking. All right, so I'm going to put this right here. I should go ahead and put one of the glasses down in here. I'm going to put it in the glass. Get the mouth part, all this. Keep the spoon part of the spoon. See how I'm getting this? The brush is really scrubbing. Important to scrub. It offers light abrasion as opposed to using a Brillo pad or the rough part of the sponge, which is a little bit better on your dishes. So I'm going to get this. Scrubbed all that. And then the last but not least part, I'm going to go ahead and get this pan right here. So here's the pan. And I'm just going to scrub this pretty well. Get some of the suds in here. And then does a really good job in getting, there was caked on food on this particular pan. Get the inside. And the way this brush is, I like this one because it's a curved all right here. Or not curved, but the shape that it's in allows me to go circular motions inside. And then I can get the outside like this. And not forget the handle. So once I have that, and remember I said I'm going to go ahead and get the inside of this one again. Just going to take this, get the inside, just like that. And then there's, if you see right here, it is a little bit problem. There's a little bit of stain in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and drain that a little bit. And then I'm going to put some baking soda in here. So I'm going to put some baking soda in there. And then I'm going to take the brush, add a little bit of water, go inside. You see that? Baking soda is getting up the coffee stain better than just using the soap and the brush alone. It's a little trick in getting the stain out. And then I'm going to go ahead and get inside of that and get the rim of that. And the outside again. And now it comes down to rinsing. So the first thing I do is I'm going to go ahead and rinse my hand a little bit. And I want to go ahead and get what I call rinsing 1 bird with two stones, or two stones with one bird. Anyway, I'm doing this way because it conserves water. So I need to rinse the cup and I need to rinse the utensils. So I put the utensils in the cup and just allow the water to go over it while I rinse another cup. And so water is going down here, rinsing the utensils and starting on the rinsing the cup. All the while I'm rinsing this. It's getting the second flow of water going on. So this is rinsed out pretty well. Like that. See that? And I also have another cup. I'm just going to keep on letting the utensils get rinsed because there's a lot of utensils in there. I want them to get rinsed well, so I'll just leave this water pouring over it. And just rinsing all the cups. And I'll take the water from the cup and pour it directly onto the dishes that need to be rinsed. This will make the rinsing action easier once you actually get to those. Okay, so rinse that one. And then I have this glass right here. Just making sure the water pours over the other ones. Like that. A couple more glasses. There's a lid. I'm just going to be rinsing this one right here. I move it over here. Get this big coffee pot. Rinsing the inside. Get all of that out of the way. So now I have all of the cups. I'm going to go ahead and get to the coffee filter. And I'll leave the big items for the end. So I have this going right here. Coffee away. I'm going to get this part. And here is the Tupperware. Rinse this out. Everything is rinsing off pretty well right now because water has been pouring over it for a little bit. I'm using hot water. I have this right here. And you know it's clean when it's squeaky clean like this. See that? You hear that? That's how I know I have all the soap off. I'm going to go ahead and take the spatula. Everything is rinsing off pretty well by now. This is a measuring cup. A lid. Now I have the utensils. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to go ahead and pour this. I'm going to go ahead and pour this inside of the coffee. And just give it a light rinse under the cup and the utensils because they're pretty much rinsed off from all of the rinse action that has been going on. I'm going to take the straw, put that there. And then I have this coffee. I'm going to take this and I'm going to pour it directly onto that. There's baking soda in there, so you have to rinse this pretty well. Because baking soda doesn't always dissolve. Get that on there. And rinse this pretty well right here. Here's the pan, the final pan. Rinse the handle. It's pretty much rinsed all the way off. And I'm going to go ahead and put the pan away. And the final thing to do is, once you've done that, go ahead and take the brush again. And I'll put a little bit of soap on the brush. Get a little water. And then you want to go in the sink. And this makes the process really easy. So go in the sink with the wet brush. You might have to add a little bit more water. And I typically start at the top, go all around. Make sure you get it real thorough. Make sure you clean it pretty well. More water on here. And then work my way around. Work my way around. Like this. Get all of that, all the sides, and get close down to the disposal area. Now, if you have food or anything else that just fell off, you might have to run the disposal again. So what I do is I'll go ahead and turn the water on, turn the disposal on if there's any food, rinse the brush first, and while I'm rinsing the brush, a lot of the soap is actually dissolving any solids that the brush did not get. So I'll go ahead and turn the disposal off, and then I'll just go ahead and take this and rinse the sink right here. See, it's a clean sink right now, just getting all the suds off. Scrubbed it down. The dishes are drying in the rack. I'm going to put this up. And that's how you wash dishes with a scrubbing brush, which I think is a lot better than using a sponge or a rag. I hope this video was helpful. Thanks a lot for watching.